First of all, I'm honored to speak to such distinguished guests today. Before entering into the Portuguese government 4 years ago, I was a taxander, just like you. And in this sense, I'm not really an external speaker, as I was announced. I consider myself as a temporary external speaker, and for me, it is a pleasure to return home to Taxand. My first words in this conference will be about that there is a crucial political point today in Europe. In the current stage of the European integration, action taken at European level are as important as policies carried out at the national level. Indeed, today in Europe, the national scale of policy making still plays a decisive role in the European development. In the Portuguese state, and in the Portuguese case, the crisis has also an internal dimension, resulting mainly from policies, mistakes performed by past governments, which led Portugal into the turmoil in 2011. And the Portuguese government, since then, has taken strong ownership in dealing with and overcoming the fiscal and economic crisis which peaked in May 2011. The Portuguese adjustment program aimed at tackling the main vulnerabilities in the country's economy. First, fiscal consolidation, so as to put public finances back on the sustainable path. Second, financial stability. And third, structural transformation to relaunch potential growth prospects. The program has paved its way and ended up successfully in May 2014. For 2015, a new record should be achieved, with state tax revenues surpassing the highest ever, even without any rate increase in the main taxes. With the plan, 3 major measures were implemented to tackle evasion in each of the 3 main taxes: personal income tax, corporate income tax, and VAT. In corporate income tax, the creation of the large taxpayers office allowed the tax administration to closely monitoring large corporations responsible for 60% of the total revenues in Portugal. As a result of this structural change, in 2013, 80% of corporate income tax increase was generated by companies, followed by the large taxpayers office. On VAT, the government implemented the e-invoicing reform, which was the most ambitious reform ever made to curb shadow economy in Portugal. Fiscal structural reforms helped consolidating the public finance management and the overall organization and spending of public administration. However, to trigger growth and promote a more competitive landscape, tax policy measures played a decisive role. The flagship of the government's structural transformation agenda is the corporate income tax reform, which entered into force in 2014. The CIT reform is a key tax tool to stimulate investment, improve competitiveness, and lift the potential growth rate for Portugal. In particular, with its focus on investment, the reforms stem the secular downward trend in private investment. The corporate income tax reform was a crucial element to improve competitiveness in an increasingly globalized world. As a whole, Europe's road to recovery will continue to require difficult choices and persistence from Europe as a whole and each member state in particular. It is now essential that each country to stay on the course of responsibility and economic reform. We must rise to the expectation of millions of Europeans who call for concrete action and results in reforming and modernizing Europe's economy. We must do that for the sake of Europe's sustainable growth, job creation, and for the sake of the future generations. Thank you very much.